In Unreal Engine, most of the time we'll be working with blueprints. And blueprints are basically objects like these ones in the scenes that have more functions than just being, for example, a 3D object. So as an example, let's create one and I'll show you more about it. In the content browser, right-click and under Create, select Blueprint Class. Here it will show you a bunch of different templates for blueprints. There's actor, pawn, character, player controller, game mode, and a bunch of other things. Each one comes ready with different settings for different use cases. And if you click on all classes, there's a ton more to choose from. But for now, we'll just be doing the very basic one, which is the actor one. And that will then ask us to name it. And so we will name it BP_cube. And then we'll open it by double-clicking on it. This is what we always see when we open blueprints. Over here on the left, we have the components, which is similar to the scene outliner, which will show you a list of all the things inside of this blueprint. For now, it's just a very simple blueprint, so we only have a default scene root. Below, there's other things that I'll be teaching you about later. And on the side here, you'll have the details window, similar to the one we saw earlier. As an example, let's add something here. Press the Add button, and then here, you'll have a selection of many different things to add. For now, we'll just select the cube, and that will add a cube to this blueprint. You can again name it, so we'll just leave it as cube. Similar to the main viewport, we also have a viewport here where we can move it just like we talked about in the previous lesson. So even just now, if we just save this on compile, and then go back to our scene, you can see here already that it's showing a preview of the cube that we added. You can hold on the blueprint and drag and drop it into the scene. And that's how simple it is to create a blueprint. You can also move it around, rotate it. But what makes this different from any other object in the scene? As I was saying before, back in the blueprint, we can do a lot more than just having it as a mesh. For example, we can add another mesh here, like a sphere. And then scale it up. Oh, the scaling is too big. Put it back to 0.25. And then we can scale it up. And save it. Press compile. And then go back. And then see now here. It looks a bit different. So we've just customized a shape and made it look interesting. And if we go back and, for example, change the material to something like green, and then select the cube and change it to something like blue, and save again, and go back, now we have an interesting looking object in the game. And if we press play, we can go and interact with it. By default, meshes have collision, so we can't go through them. One last thing I want to show you is because this is a blueprint, we can do other cool things, like for example, make it rotate. So we can go to Add and type in rotating movement. And then select that. There's a few settings here already by default, so we can just save it. And then just press play. And as you can see, now it's rotating. And just like that, we've created something very cool looking in the scene. That can be like an item that you can pick up. Also, if you go to the third person folder and then press on the blueprints folder, here you'll see the character, which is the character we've been using when we play the game. If you double click on it and open it, you'll see a bunch of different things. And here, if you press on the viewport, you'll see the character that we've been using. And you can actually also manipulate it here by scaling it or changing it in any funny way. And then going back to the scene and pressing play. And then you'll see the character in a different kind of scale. And for example, if you go back to the character and undo, and if, for example, we want to add a funny hat on him, let's say a cube, scale it down a little bit, and turn off the snapping, and put it on his head. and then again press play, there will be this kind of cube above the head. So yeah, basically in Unreal Engine, almost everything in the scene is a blueprint. That's it for the basic introduction for blueprints.